I am pleased to be joined by the Bull, Brianna Van Buren, who is fighting on June the 20th when she faces Tecia Torres. Brianna, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Really good. Thank you for the time. Now, it's almost been a year. It will be a year in July since we last saw you inside of the octagon. I got to imagine you must be itching to get right back in there.
Oh my gosh, it's been a bit frustrating. I have been itching for a fight for Lord knows how long. I plan on after this fight. Um, I pray and hope that I don't come out with any severe injuries or anything like that, so that way I can get right back to it right away. I plan on fighting as much as I can starting June 20th. So.
Now, this pandemic has been a little bit different for everyone, but it's definitely affected all of us in some capacity. Tell me a little bit about how it's affected you and what your day-to-day life has been like.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. But I think, it started, so in the beginning, it was a little bit, it was different. It was a weird thing. A lot of weird things happening with, our gym. My family owns a gym, and, we had to close down our gym. So I couldn't teach any, of my students. So that was a little weird. It started to get very boring for me throughout the day. But I started training again and then started to just reshift my focus and to try to keep myself busy. I actually, through this whole pandemic, I moved from Morgan Hill, which is about 15 minutes uh, north from Gilroy, or south, excuse me, from Gilroy. And so I was still keeping busy, but it was such a weird time, strange times.
How have you been able to keep your skill set sharp during this time? Obviously, things are starting to get a little more back to normal now. Are you still able to get in, I guess, some sort of a normal camp now that the world is starting to open back up a little bit?
Yeah, so things weren't so much, I would say the only thing that was a little bit different for me was kind of having, again, not being able to teach. My set training partners are my cousins. They're literally like, I grew up in the same household with them, so I actually consider them my brothers more than my cousins. And we're all the same size and height. And so they're my main training partners, so we kind of just kept training, kept the ball going. But the only thing is I wasn't able to train with those other people outside of being uh, family related. um, but I tried to just, as this whole pandemic thing just started to open up and, things are starting to get a little bit normal. Um, Things are just kind of happening the way that they are. I have like my set training partners, so that didn't really change as much. So I'm
Well,
good.
well, that's good. It's happy to hear that you're staying sharp, and I'm sure you're going to be more than ready come June the 20th. I ask everyone this the last couple of months during this pandemic. Give me a Netflix suggestion or a movie suggestion, something that you have watched or gotten into during this downtime that you can suggest.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and you're gonna laugh, but I'm not a movie person, but my whole family watches Ozark, so I can suggest that.
Yeah, I love
But
Ozark.
yeah, but for me personally, I'm not a TV person. I can't just sit there and watch TV. It'll drive me crazy. I feel like if there's other things that I have to do besides sitting down and watching TV. But Ozark, I was told, is a really good show. What's another one? I've been watching a lot of cook shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm such a old boring soul. It sucks sometimes.
Well, that's not a bad thing. That's actually that's a good quality to have. What about live sports? Do you watch live sports? Anything outside of MMA that you really miss?
ESPN. Try to keep up there, but I mean, football, baseball, basketball. I just try to keep up with all of those sports. Um, what else? What else? What else? I'm a big fan of fishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, I do miss just putting on, sports channels and just kind of just, even just having it as background. I can definitely say I miss that as well.
Well, I'm sure, just like myself, you're going to be watching UFC 250 tonight. Tell me, at least, who do you think is going to win the main event? I obviously Amanda Nunes is the double champ. A lot of people consider her, and rightfully so, to be the greatest women's mixed martial artist that we've ever seen. Do you
Yeah.
feel like I tell you what, I feel like this is going to be a difficult test for her because Felicia Spencer is no joke, and she's a big 145er.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this fight. What do you think is going to transpire?
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page as you. That I was thinking the same thing as well as far as Felicia Spencer. She is definitely a big 145er, but I think Amanda Nunes is gonna pull through on this one.
Yeah, it's tough to go against her.
Yeah, it really is. She's done a lot for the sport, and she's still kicking butt and taking names. So it, like you said, it is hard to go against somebody who has such that high elite what do you call it, attributes.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, one thing I've been really interested to asking you and getting your feedback on is what was it more mentally draining or physically draining to compete and win in that Invicta FC tournament? Because you beat three very difficult opponents. I got to imagine clearly it's draining on your body and hard, but mentally, man, to go through that. I mean, can you compare it to something?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think about it. Like now, even now when people ask me about it, like I don't ever think about it until somebody asks me a question. I'm like, wow, actually that was probably really mentally exhausting just to kind of go through it and, put yourself through like an 8-week camp and then thinking about the thought process of, there's 8 girls that, this person how do you train for something like that? And it's just like I said before, like you just focus on yourself and just stay open minded. I showed up to practice ready to learn and ready to, just work hard, and the opportunity presented itself that day. So yeah.
Now, you have an extensive background in combat sports, obviously a very accomplished wrestler. You wanted to be a boxer. Now here you are in the UFC. You had your debut last July, beat a very game Souza. Tell me, what was that experience like, and were you pleased with your overall performance?
I wasn't pleased. I'm so hard on myself though. I am the worst. Like I am so hard on myself. I always look for a finish. I'm always going and wanting to finish that person. And I knew going in with Livia that she was going to be a tough girl. I know that she has, obviously everybody saw it during stare downs that, she tries to get in your head a little bit, and so I try to just stay focused, but I wasn't pleased with my performance. So I'm hoping this time around on June 20th, I'm able to get a finish.
Now, you were supposed to fight Hannah Cyphers in January, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that you had to withdraw for undisclosed reasons. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that now?
Oh yeah. So I had what was called trigger finger on my right hand, and I had to get surgery on my finger, and I tried to wait it out until after the Hannah Cyphers fight, and I got 3 different opinions from 3 different doctors, and it all came back to the same thing, which was you got to think of longevity. And I had to basically put my ego to the side and worry about my health first. And now I'm all good. I can do this with my hand. I couldn't do this at all. I can punch faces, and I'm healthy as can be. So and like I said before, like everything is all in God's timing. So there's a reason why that fight didn't happen. And obviously look at now, I have a bigger name, a bigger opponent, and I got my hands full with Tecia Torres on June 20th.
Yeah, so we're 2 weeks out from fight night right now. What left do you have to do in camp? We're coming right into almost weight cutting time, right? So
Yeah.
what left do you have to do before you head to the Apex in Vegas?
Yeah, I got my last hard week coming up, which I'm stoked about. I don't know what happened there. I have my last hard week coming up, which I'm pretty excited about. It's just basically continuously sharpening the tools and just, making sure that I'm ready for June 20th. And then I can't wait for fight week. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, making the weight and, just being there, being in the moment, and just taking it as is.
Mhm. Do you have like a handmade personal mask that you're bringing down to Vegas with you, or is that something you're going to pick up on the way?
You know what? I have a cousin. Her name is Gianna, and she actually makes these masks. Like she hand makes these masks, and so I'm considering ordering at least one for every day. I don't know what colors I'm gonna do yet, but I thought about doing some funky colors. But I'm also a plain Jane, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm definitely gonna have some masks.
Both myself and my fiance, we have Patriots masks that were made for us. We're hardcore New England Patriots fans. Have you
Woo!
like that, like getting a team logo on there?
Yeah, my mother-in-law is a Patriots fan, so I might just end up doing that as well. Who knows? I might surprise you and my mother-in-law.
Hey, I would like that. If I'm watching Embedded and I see you with the Patriots mask on, I'm gonna love that. That would be very cool.
Awesome. I'll see if my cousin Gianna could do that.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about who's making the trip with you to Vegas. Obviously, you got a really tight knit team. You got a coach that you've been with for a while now at Antdawg MMA. Who's making the trip with you down there?
Yeah, Anthony, obviously, he's been in my corner since day one. Nothing is going to change. He's also my uncle, so he'll be in my corner. My brother as well, and then Adam Antolin, who is one of my main training partners, and I believe he's ranked #1 right now in Japan. So nothing is going to change for me. I'm keeping it simple and sticking to the meats and potatoes.
Yeah, I know Adam. I've interviewed him. It was a few years ago, right when I first started getting in to MMA journalism. He's a nice guy. Happy to hear that he's on your squad. That only does nothing but add to what you're going to be able to do. He's legit.
Yeah.
As far as the precautions and everything that the UFC is implementing, is that something that you're, I guess, intrigued to see what they do? Because this is unprecedented times. It's got to be kind of bizarre to go through everything that you're going to have to go through and have the what is it, the nose swipe thing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yep. You and I are on the same page right now. I'm not looking forward to that. I seen a video, I believe, of I think it was Chito Vera, and I did not like. That's something that I hope that I don't do, but I don't know. Like I'm not looking forward to it, but I guess it's just something that I have to do if I want to fight, right? So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm not a big baby and I'm not a chicken about it, but I can't make no promises.
Yeah. Well, you got to imagine it probably wouldn't be worse than getting punched right in the nose, right? But
Yeah.
when you see how far it goes up, it almost looks like it's in your skull. And I think
Yeah.
doing on Wednesday and Friday, they got to test you twice before you get cleared.
Yep.
So I wish you the best as far as that goes.
Thank you. I need all of the prayers and the wishes. So I hope. I was told that they're actually going to test us from the day we fly in to every day. So but hopefully it changes. Hopefully it's just Wednesday and Thursday because I'd rather take Wednesday and Thursday instead of the whole week.
Yeah. Well, again, big fight with Tecia. She's a highly ranked fighter. I believe she's number 12 right now in the division. A win over her clearly gets you into probably maybe that top 10 with the record you already have. She's coming off of 4 losses, granted to 4 of the best in the division. Do you feel like you're going to see an even more motivated and maybe desperate Tecia Torres in this fight?
Oh, for sure. I know she's working hard, and I know, I think like with anybody, no, she's coming off of 4 consecutive losses. She's coming in to kick my butt. So, and best believe I'm coming for war, and I'm gonna be ready for war, and I'm coming to kick her butt too. So I'm hoping to get a finish, and I know that she's working hard. She's training hard, and hopefully she knows that I'm doing the same thing. And if she doesn't know on June 20th, she's gonna find out. So, but yeah, I know that she's definitely working hard, and she's probably coming in with the chip on her shoulder. But she has to understand that I'm coming in with a chip on her shoulder too. And it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a good fight too, I think.
Stylistically, how do you feel you match up with her?
Oh, I think honestly, it's gonna be a good test for my stand up. I know that she's a kickboxer, Muay Thai. She has a couple of I think she has some fights in Muay Thai kickboxing as well. but so do I. People don't know that, and I have amateur fights as well. I've been doing this since I was 14. You know, and I'm coming in with a chip on my shoulder, and I'm coming to fight. And I think I'm gonna be the better wrestler, the better grappler, and overall I'm just gonna be a better mixed martial artist.
Prediction time. How do you see yourself getting your hand raised? I know you're coming for the finish. Do you think ultimately that's what you'll get?
I honestly, truthfully believe that I will get the finish. I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself, but I'm hoping I go in there and stop her in the first round. And how I stop her, I'm thinking maybe a knee, maybe a punch. Some of these girls don't realize how hard I hit, and I pack a lot of power in my punches. So hopefully on June 20th, I'll be able to showcase that. But if not, if I don't get that punch or that kick, then I'll take her down and I'll ground and pound her, and if she gives me a submission, leaves her limbs open, then I'll take her arm or her neck. So we'll see.
I know you're not looking past Tecia Torres, but when you look forward to what's next, if you do get a win here, does Courtney Casey make sense? Who do you like next?
I don't know if Courtney Casey is a 115er, but I'm, again, like you said, I'm not looking past Tecia Torres, but I'm asking, after this fight, I want somebody who's a top 10. I want someone who's going to take me to that belt. So whoever it is, whether it's Claudia, Carla, Marina, whoever it is, we'll be ready for it. But right now, my hands are full with Tecia Torres.
No doubt. You did call out Courtney in the past, right? I'm not mistaken there.
I don't know if I did. Probably. I think she was a 115er.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
of these girls can get it. All of them. It doesn't matter. They're in my way. I'm chasing the gold. So whoever's in my way, then they can get it.
No doubt. Well, listen, great interview. I really appreciate the time. I can't wait to see you step back in the cage on June the 20th against Tecia Torres. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you want to thank or if you want to plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Sorry about last weekend. I know we tried to connect, but I'm glad that we were able to do it today. And for anybody who wants to follow me, you can follow me on my Instagram at Brianna the Bull, or Twitter at Brianna the Bull, and or Facebook. Until then, I'll be training and sharpening my tools, and I'll see you June 20th.